So I think today's video is going to be pretty exciting for any fellow old man gamers out there. I know I'm only 35, but in gamer years, that's pretty much ancient. Myself and older is probably the only demographic that actually cares about RTS games, and tomorrow we're getting a remastered version of Command & Conquer. CNC, of course, being one of the original defining games of the RTS genre, first launching back in 1995 and considered a pillar of RTS games along with titles like Warcraft, StarCraft, and Age of Empires. The CNC remaster is bringing that all back in 4K resolution with a complete revamp of Tiberian Dawn, Red Alert, and their 3 expansions, Covert Ops, Counter-Strike, and Aftermath. So in today's video, I want to talk a bit about the CNC remaster, what you can expect, what we know, and how it's looking so far. The recent RTS remaster that we had from Blizzard, that didn't turn out so well. So hopefully this one's better. Alright, so starting things off again, yes, this is going to include the complete games of Tiberian Dawn and Red Alert, as well as its 3 expansions, and it's being made by Petroglyph, Lemon Sky, and some of the key members of the original Westwood team, along with aid from the CNC community. Early on, they formed a community council to help with the remaster, and they did create some of the key content that actually made its way into the final game. Now, this remaster will be running at 4K resolution, with every unit, structure, and animation getting completely rebuilt from the ground up, and they're also including the option to switch between those legacy graphics and the remastered new 4K graphics on the fly. There will be a toggle that lets you swap between those while in solo play. They did say that this isn't going to be available in multiplayer, that just the technology didn't allow it, but it's a pretty cool feature for while you're like going through the campaign or whatever. So what does it include? Well, there will be over 100 of the original campaign missions. They've added quick save functionality, and it's also going to include some of the Spec Ops missions which were previously exclusive to the console versions of the game. There's also going to be a brand new mission selection screen, letting you more easily pick the mission that you want to play. They've done a complete overhaul to the sidebar UI. They wanted to give it some modern touches, so there will be less scrolling. They've also added in-game hotkey customization. There have been updates to the mouse controls, camera movement, unit queuing, and the selection has seen an improvement as well. The FMV's got a pass. They've been upscaled in resolution and have also received remastered sound, so it's going to sound quite a bit better than it did in the original. And the multiplayer experience, which is a big component here, has been completely rebuilt as well. So there's going to be over 250 maps to choose from. There is the ability to join or create custom game lobbies that are going to let you pick like the rules, the team setup, as well as the map. There's a 1v1 quick match with an ELO-based matchmaking system, and the quick match games will be pulling from this filtered pool of maps with set game rules to try to reduce the luck and randomness. Now, with this competitive ELO-based matchmaking, there are also in-game leaderboards where players are going to be able to track their wins, losses, and accumulated points. And the multiplayer is running on these dedicated servers based on Petroglyph's architecture, and this is to provide a reliable connection as well as to prevent any misbehavior. So like cheating is basically what they mean there. And then another big thing too, the music was pretty popular back in the day as well, and the game's soundtrack has been completely remastered by the original composer and can also be customized with the in-game jukebox. So those are like some of the major features and selling points, a lot of that discussed in their big reveal video. Some additional features though include skirmish mode for Tiberian Dawn, letting you take on the AI with this controllable difficulty settings. There are replays for custom and quick match games, as well as an observer mode where players can spectate live games in progress with a slight time delay, which I'm assuming is to prevent any sort of cheating. There is a map editor for both single and multiplayer maps. There's quite a bit of mod support. They say here you can create, share, and play mods with Steam Workshop. Modders are going to actually have access to the source code of these games, with EA, I think about a week ago, releasing the DLLs for both Tiberian Dawn and Red Alert. And with this, you're going to be able to mod the maps, units, replace artwork, game logic, as well as data. Pretty extensive access that they're giving the mod community with this, and actually I think that's one of the major things that people are really looking forward to, just the different things that modders are going to be able to do. There's also going to be a camera zoom feature where you can change between the legacy DOS and gold distances for a better look at the battlefield, and a bonus gallery that contains over 4 hours of B-roll footage, making of photos, and some unreleased music tracks. And that pretty much covers it, all of the major features and things that are included in the Command and Conquer Remaster here. And all of this is launching globally tomorrow on June the 5th at 10 a.m. Pacific time, and it's available on both Steam and Origin, with the asking price being $19.99. It's worth noting as well that there is Origin Access Premier where you can play this game. I think it's $15 a month or $100 for a year. Will give you complete access to this game as well as their vault of games. I'm not sure exactly how many, but it's a pretty large library. Not trying to get anyone to buy anything. Don't buy it if you don't want to, but I'm just letting you know that there's a subscription fee that you could pay to unlock this game. Given that this game is a lower price title at only $19.99, it's probably worth just buying the complete thing rather than paying $15 and then losing access once you stop paying that monthly fee. I think it'd be a mistake with this being a major RTS remaster to not bring up the other major RTS remaster we had recently. And of course, I'm talking about Warcraft 3 Reforged. Now, hopefully this goes better than that went. At the moment, sitting at a 60 score on OpenCritic with a 10% critic recommendation, and then over on Metacritic getting a 59 and a 0.6 user score with over 13,000 negative reviews. Warcraft 3 Remastered was just a complete failure in the eyes of many. It was filled with issues and fell far short of people's expectations. Couple quick quotes here from some of the reviews. An inexplicably careless remaster where none of the changes are unequivocally for the better, and the experience is brought down further by numerous bugs and missing features. The fact that it didn't have features that the original had is completely insane, but on top of all of that, the Warcraft 3 remaster replaced the old version of the game, so people couldn't even play the older, less buggy, more complete version when they released Warcraft 3 Reforged. So hopefully for the CNC remaster, they don't repeat this mistake. I mean, frankly, all signs are pointing to this being a remaster done right. They seem to be having a lot of fun with it, releasing like a bunch of kind of quirky videos with some of the characters from the original games.
Greetings. It is I, Cain. But you knew that, didn't you, my faithful friends?
They've been very open with their community. Again, like I mentioned at the top, they formed early on, they formed a community council, which helped with like, you know, what should this have? What should we be focusing on improving? Try to work with the community, the people who have been actively playing the games for 25 years at this point and are interested in this turning out as good as possible and not just looking to turn a quick buck or something, because the community doesn't have any financial incentive in this. They just love the games and want these to turn out as good as possible. So yeah, they seem to be doing things right. I mean, you know, at this point, we don't know if this will be filled with bugs. It could have issues similar to some of the problems that plagued the Warcraft 3 Reforged remake. Again, signs are pointing in a positive direction. It seems like they have the right ideas in mind. Is the game going to be completely stable? Will it have bugs? We won't know until it launches tomorrow, but so far I think it's pretty optimistic. Like, I think we've got something to look forward to, and I think this is pretty cool. You know, again, when this game originally launched, I think I was 10 years old. Yeah, it launched in 95. So I was 10 years old, and I have some good memories of it, but it was never a game that I played a ton. Frankly, I could tell you pretty much nothing about the game other than it was an RTS, and I remember building units and attacking an enemy base. That's about all I remember. So I'm excited to check this out. I'll basically be learning the game for the first time, but I'm totally fine with that because, again, I've got some pretty strong roots in RTS games. Again, played a ton of StarCraft and Warcraft. Obviously, this channel was built up on StarCraft 2. Like, that's how I started my YouTube career. So I like RTS games, even though they've kind of fallen out of favor. It seems like the genre is pretty much on life support at this point. It's not very popular anymore. It seems like the modern gamers, the generation growing up, just doesn't care about RTS games. They rather play MOBAs or Battle Royales or Minecraft, which, you know, I don't blame them. But I like RTS. It's if nothing else, it just brings back fond memories of my childhood. For me, this is pretty cool because I'm almost going to be getting an introduction to one of the classic pillars of RTS games, but or like an enhanced version. And that, for me, that's pretty awesome. For me, that's pretty cool. So I'm looking forward to this. I'm definitely going to be jumping in. We'll see if I make any additional videos. It depends, I guess, on how long I end up playing. But yeah, Command and Conquer Remastered Collection launches tomorrow. Looks pretty damn good. And that's what you need to know. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you later.